Hey guys, my name is Blake Ironside. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I run a marketing agency here doing video production and advertising called Ironside Media. I met Paul, I think it was almost a year and a half ago now. And it was the funniest thing because I was at home. I didn't go to college. I just jumped straight in entrepreneurship. And I kept getting these emails from Paul, and it was like talking about like someone made 106 grand in a month. And I was like, I wanted to believe it. And I was like, no, I was like, the way I've been raised, it's like making that kind of money is just ridiculous. I was like, no, I don't think so. I don't know if that's, and then I was like, all right. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll click on it. I was like, at least listen to this guy and see what he has to say. And, basically like everything he was talking about made sense. He was like, okay, cause I was selling video production at the time, had no advertising skills or anything. And basically he's talking about like the frustrations of selling video. I was like, who's this guy? I was like, what has he got going on? He kept getting your emails. I was like, this is too good to be true. Anyways, end up hopping on a call with him, joining the program, and completely changed the whole direction of my life, my business, everything I had going on. And I think the main thing that kind of happened for me was a way of thinking. I think a lot of, for me, when I was shooting video, it was just like, all I knew how to do was produce videos and
Yeah.
shoot good photos. I didn't really know how to sell or how to think or how to present myself or how to know actually, is this a good fit for us to work together? Removing my, attachment away from yes. So anyways, I could sing Paul's praises all day. His programs really changed my life and my business. And yeah, so.
So Blake, how long ago did you join Next Level Creators? I think that's a great place to start here.
Yeah, so it was November of 2018, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's November of 2018.
So that's a long time ago, of course.
Yeah.
And before that, you didn't have much of a marketing background. And one of the things you mentioned to me right before we jumped on here is that you're running pretty big campaigns, extremely successful, extremely profitable commercial
Mhm.
campaigns for clients right now. And you've had other advertising agencies, other people come in and try to poke holes in what you did and what you're doing, and they can't. They can't scratch the surface at how you're doing things. And tell the people about that aspect of it, as far as like what it's like to know what you're doing is like you have the foundation in place for what
Yeah.
a good ad campaign looks like.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. So basically, I think Paul taught me how to think with advertising. And how to start with the fundamentals. There's fundamentals to running ads online that are really, really, really important. And if you're not following those fundamentals, you can kind of lose sight of okay, was that a good ad or not? I don't know if I'm not following these fundamentals. And I think that's what Paul taught me how to do. So a lot of these ad agencies, to get back into what you're talking about, I had a lot of people come in. I have a client that's very desirable in the market. A lot of ad agencies want to work with them. They're a really big brand. It's selling information. And I'll have people come in, do their video pitches of like, this is what I think you should do differently, da, 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 da. And everyone would come in and kind of like say this or say that. And it was like the way that Paul taught me to think, like, survived the weather of what everyone else was throwing in there. And like, there's just so much nonsense on the internet right now about, pop up your advertising agency, make $1 million tomorrow,
Yeah.
whatever. And everyone's got this new way. And it's like, it's not really this new way. It's really coming down to the fundamentals of running ads. And it's a way of thinking, not this new ad copy or whatever. All that's great. Being creative is great. Let's try things. But it was like the fundamentals that Paul taught me, just nobody could really, like, a lot of people come in and say this and that. And the client I had was just like, well, I mean, we're, making almost 10x our money every month. Why would we try to implement or change anything? So yeah.
And that's the beauty of it, right? Is like, that's when you know you're doing something right, is literally every dollar you spend, up to thousands of dollars, brings in $10 more. Right. That's the fundamentals. And everyone can talk about messenger bots. They can talk about a bunch of shiny objects and things, and they can go in and say, you're not using enough creatives. You need to set up your account this way. You need to do video this way because it's got to be higher production or whatever it is. It's like, go
Yeah.
back to the numbers, man.
Yep.
Back to those fundamentals.
Yep.
Stop getting so emotional, right? Oh, one ad set didn't work for 3 days, or one of our tests didn't work. It's like, dude, you're fine. You're still netting $10 for every one you spend. So I appreciate that. And that's something, this is getting beyond sort of the creative conversations I typically have with people to the media buying side that we go in depth on. And that's awesome that it's worked that well for you. So
Yeah. And
tell
what's
me,
cool, well, just real quick, what's cool too, what's generated the most money for that client is the first funnel I built, and the first ad I ever wrote before writing any other ads is live for like 12 months. And I don't even have to think about it. I just hit go on it. I just said, spend more money. So I just think that's great. It's like, people can make it so complicated, but it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, everybody always does. Everybody overcomplicates things, from marketing to sales to running their business to scaling their business. When it's something you've never done before or you don't know, it's very easy to overcomplicate it. Yet when you distill it down to its first principles, distill it down to the fundamentals of what the thing is, almost always the answer is simple, right? So for you, getting started in this, when you first came across us, you got on our email list probably from an ad, checked out our stuff. You were in the film game, shooting videos, and then you kept getting emails from us. You finally jumped on, had a call, joined this program. What was it like going through Next Level Creators, and what were your biggest takeaways or like aha moments or challenges that you decided to overcome?
Yeah. I think the biggest aha I had was sales. I think that was the biggest thing that you like mapped out for me, is like, this is a creative program around advertising, all that, but sales was the one thing I was like, wow, I'm an idiot. Like, I've just been doing things totally wrong, trying to get people excited when there's nothing to be excited about. It's like, I wasn't really even providing value to your business. I understand why you want to be excited. I'm trying to sell you a video for $5,000 and you're a real estate agent. You won't even make that much money on selling the house. So I could get why you want to buy that. So I think that was one of my big ahas, was understanding just value, understanding like, okay, one, what do you need? Can I serve that to you? And then is there enough value for both of us in this, and making a win-win offer, as you would call it.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big aha. I think another one was, just being like real about where you're at, like just like being like, okay, here's where I really am, and here's the things I need to cut out of my life. Like I've gotten pretty hyper focused on like, I have a mattress in my room and that's it, and I can afford much more. But I just try to cut out as much as I can, because so much of it's just a distraction. So I think what I was talking about earlier, a lot of those things are just the fundamentals of running a business and doing that. But the big one for me was definitely sales, and understanding how to create win-win offers, to have fun. Like a lot of my clients, we have a blast together. I just got out of a meeting going to Costa Rica next week with a guy that I'm running ads for his venue.
There we go.
Setup fee was like $7,000, which is great. So that's pretty good. And I'm going to go to Costa with him. We're going to hang out half the time. The other half, we're going to shoot video and get the marketing campaign set up, and it'll be cool. So, yeah, there's a lot of takeaways, but sales and understanding win-win for sure was it.
And I think it's a big, there's a big gap here for a lot of people, because like, it's so easy for people to be listening to someone like you right now and be in that place you were in before you joined, where you were thinking, not again, another one of these bullshitters. And now this is Paul's friend Blake, who lives down the street from him. He's not real. He's not really going to Costa Rica next week. He didn't earn the deal. What the hell? So let's give the people one of those things. Like you said, you were reading these emails and then you were like, this makes sense. So from a sales perspective, win-win offer makes sense. Walk me through what a win-win offer looks like for one of your clients, like how you came to that deal, like where you found the gap and were like, I can help you with this. And if I can do that, I can charge this price, and it makes so much sense for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And real quick, anyone who might think Paul and I, this is like some game, Paul's legit. I know a lot of people in the space selling information. There's a lot of nonsense going on. Paul has 20x what I invested to work with him, just for anyone doubting who Paul is. But as far as a win-win offer, so I was at a gym. I do yoga and I work out a lot, and I was at a local boutique gym, and the guy was just talking to the guy, and it was so cool because, again, how Paul taught me to think. He's talking about all the frustrations he has. I'm like, okay, we have something here, and this is because my girlfriend lost her keys in the yoga studio or something, and we're just sitting there, and here comes the owner. Introduce myself, he's a cool guy, and we're talking, and I start digging up like, okay, he's really struggling to get more people in here. And I was like, but his product's amazing. Like, this guy's like incredible at martial arts, like has met all the big players in the industry, has got a great gym, great product, great person. I was like, why is he struggling? And it was literally one missing piece. And it was just a lack of his message being properly distributed to Knoxville, Tennessee. So
Yeah.
basically I sat there and dug all that up and realized, okay, there's something here. This guy has a problem. Can I solve it? I said, let's get lunch. I think I can help you. And he was like, all right, fine. And he's like, I like you. And I was like, cool. And we sat down, we got lunch, and he basically was like, everything he was talking about was everything that I could fix for him. And I understood, okay, you need more clients. I can help you get more clients. How much does it cost per client? I was like, those numbers make sense all day. I don't even need to like break this down. I was like, let's do this. And I, basically put together a quote in my head on the spot. I was just like, I know, like I've, quoted enough people. I was just like, yeah, we're good. Let's go. And he's like, all right. And then no kidding, in the first week for his boutique gym, this is the same guy as Costa Rica, by the way, but this is our first product we worked on together.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So for anyone listening, like he's got a gym that's local in the area that I'm working on. And he also has a venue in Costa Rica. And we spent like $300 on ads, and he texted me the other day and was like, we did $6,000 in sales in the first week.
Yeah.
First week, $300. Like, that's way more than 10x. Like, blew his socks off, which is great. And then he realized, he's like, okay, now I trust this guy. You're not another, boohoo digital marketer promised me rainbows and roses and all this stuff. And he's like, I got this thing going on in Costa. Let's talk about that. And we broke it down, and I realized, like, oh my gosh, I can help you again. I was like, all these numbers make complete sense. And we created a win-win offer, and he's flying me down next week, and we're gonna shoot the venue and put together the campaign and rock and roll with it. So,
and that's cool because that's such a big reason I'm in business is it's not just about making a ton of money. Like, building wealth is super important to me. I want to leave I want to build something that matters, something that I can take care of my family. Financial freedom is a very it's a thing that I feel like I have the potential to do at such a high level, from serving people with real estate, serving people in the video production game, serving people in the marketing game, in the business game, content creators, artists. Like, I just have the ability to help people because of all the things that I've learned. So I'm trying to give back in ways. And then it just so happens that by giving back, I'm earning in many different facets, many different channels. Now, from your perspective, the lifestyle aspect of learning these skills, sales, marketing, you're literally getting paid to go do yoga and create videos in Costa Rica. Like, talk through that and how that's changed for you, and some of the experiences you've had thus far.
Yeah, I love that. I love the way I appreciate you wanting to give back, because now me realizing like how much you redirected my life, I now desire to do the same. Like, I have a lot of friends who are still younger who ask me questions about things. I'm like, you're not really like, look at it this way. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And like wanting to kind of redirect people, because I think our system that we've been raised in, everyone is kind of like just wrong. Like, a lot of school is not wrong. I don't want to say wrong, but just like, it doesn't really teach you how to like have skills to generate money and create financial freedom, which is so many people's goal. But with that, like, you taught me how to sell. You taught me how to market. I've learned how to do all these things, which is just giving me the freedom and the confidence to just do whatever I want, right? Like I travel
Yeah.
all the time, gonna go to Costa Rica next week. I'll probably, last year I went to Iceland, I went to Chile, I went to Peru, I went to Los Angeles twice, I went to Vegas twice. I was
Yeah.
all over the place with my business with me and selling people in these places. Like, because people talking to me, I'm just like, I can help you with this. So now I have a client. I have a pending client in Los Angeles right now for a bunch of boutique gyms. And it's like,
Yeah.
so I think what's really cool about all of it is just like, not like you just like start to build this confidence of like, when you have the right information of just like, it's all good. We'll just take care of itself. As long as you're going to show up, do the work.
Yeah.
It's like, you just, cause I think so many people can get like, without the right information can sit there and like just burn their tires out and never go anywhere when they have all the ambition and all of that. Cause I was kind of like me. I was a young guy. I was so energetic. I was so ready to go, but I just didn't have the right information to actually go. So I think that's what's been really cool about all of it is that just have the freedom and confidence to kind of do what I want. If I want to move, I can move. I can, I'm not locked down. I'm not counting on anyone to pay my bills.
And I think that's really important. It's like you're the type of person, you're very similar to me in the sense that like I work because I enjoy working.
Mm-hmm.
I love what I do. But also if you don't know what you're supposed to do, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. You will stay still. You will be extremely energetic. You put a ton of energy out, but then you won't get very much distance from where you started. And essentially what I'm hearing you say is like Next Level Creators was the thing that traction started to pick up. Yes. And you started to go fast and very fast. And one of the things about this business model we teach with commercial campaigns or content retainers is you have monthly recurring revenue from clients and it's leveraged. So you can, of course, travel anywhere, you can go anywhere and do anything. And that's how you've been able to hit that level of success where now you're out traveling around, moving around, you're young. Like you said, how young are you?
I'm turned 23 last week.
Hey, happy birthday, my friend.
Appreciate
23, it. Traveling to all these different places, having fun, probably bringing your girlfriend with you on a lot of the trip time.
When she can.
There you go. And making good money doing it. And also living a minimalist lifestyle because you're in it for the long game. Like you're not just about spending money on frivolous things. It's about finding meaning in life, experiences, like building wealth, doing things that bring more to other people and then to you by giving back. Is that right?
That is correct. That has been, yeah, absolutely.
My friend, see, that's why you and I and anyone else who's in the same boat, that's why we connect. That's the type of community that I thrive in building and being around. So I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your experience. Blake, are there any other things that you want to like share with people who are listening in today? Like big takeaways you've had with Next Level Creators?
Yeah, another thing I wanted to touch on was the retainer idea. I know that that's a lot of what you advertise is the retainer and getting away from these one-off sales. That was another thing that like created, freedom for me, like Paul said, and has allowed me to have all these experiences because I'm not worried about getting or selling anyone. I don't need to. I have, over $100,000 a year in retainer contracts coming in. I'm good. I don't have to worry about anything. And then I can actually figure out there's just no like pressure to doing this at all. And I think as a video guy and a creative guy before, especially with the lack of sales experience, is always like, I had to get that job. I was always like, come on, you can buy the photography. It really matters. Did it really matter that much? Probably not. Great, good photo. I don't want to knock photography. Photography is great, but it was like without really running the retainers and getting them clients through the photography and making that useful content. Yeah. So anyways, the retainers were a big thing for me and made a big difference on because now you're right. Like I'm able to just keep building that and stacking that and creating systems around that. And hopefully I want to hire a media buyer soon to where, I can kind of strategize and sell and then scale that and build this wealth and be able to give back like you and I both talk about. So
that's awesome, man. So where do you see yourself next 12 months here? I know you're looking at scaling, right? So there are many ways to scale. More is not necessarily better. For you, what does the next 12 months look like with your business, with your lifestyle? Walk me through that as far as what you really are trying to accomplish and what you want right now.
Yeah, I want to, I think for me, it's not about the money. It's about breaking through the barriers of, I've got plenty of money. It's about breaking through the barriers of like that next thing. Like I would love to get to 500,000 a year and then to 1 million a year and like really break into those. And when you start getting into that amount of money, it's not just me anymore. I mean, you can make $1 million a year by yourself for sure, especially in this industry with the right clients. But I think at that point, it's like building the right team, getting around the right people. And I think right now I'm sorting through this time where I want to really learn how to get to that next level. And I think that's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to like diving into that kind of work, studying people who have the success I want, like yourself, and getting close to people like that and reading more books and starting to figure out, okay, okay, I figured out, okay, we broke through the idea of like making 100, some people talk about six figures, whatever. Right. But it's like, not to knock that, it's really great. But like we broke through that, but it's like, okay, now let's like, I don't have to worry about my daily needs anymore or traveling or the freedom or any of that. It's like, I want to solve the problem of taking my business to the next level and getting around the right people and getting the right systems in place and understanding what I need to watch out for, what's longevity, and all of that. So,
yeah. So just continued growth and solving challenges because it's the game. You want to be in the game and you want to play the game well.
Yes. Yeah. You can exactly just want to
That's me, man. Same exact belief system. Yep. Always playing the game and trying to do better at it. So, the way I look at it is you'll never not have challenges if you're in the game of business, period. But the worst challenge to have is the one you had last year. If you're dealing with the same challenges you had last year, my friend, you're not growing. You're just repeating cycles.
Yeah.
That's what you want to avoid. You want to level your challenges up, right?
And there's nothing more like frustrating than hitting the same thing and like, it's like banging your head against the wall. It's like, and there's also nothing that brings me more joy than just growth.
Yeah.
Growth in the gym, growth in my yoga practice, growth in my business, just growth. Like when I know like I'm growing as a person, because if I'm not growing for like a week, I'm frustrated. Sure. And that's like when I'm really going, I'm just, I couldn't be happier. Like just like go, like all the time. And it's like, I don't, I'd rest and track my sleep and all that, but it's like, I just want to grow, so. Anyways.
You're an ambitious man. It's good.
Yeah.
You're young, you're ambitious, you're doing well. And the economy's in a great place for that to keep going. But not only that, this is one of the things that I think is most important thing for anyone, especially a younger age, to know is the best recession-proof thing that you have is your ability to produce, your ability to go out there and have confidence and have certainty in your ability. If you lost everything today, to get it back, to do it again, to do it better, because that comes from experience. That's going to come from your knowledge. It comes from your mindset. It comes from your physiology. It comes from your ability to create value for people, identify gaps, go and solve them. When you have that, you have better than the best investment portfolio plan that's going to protect you against the recession is like being able to actually come up with stuff yourself and produce for yourself. That's it. Because then I have no fear.
That's what you taught me how to think. Like that's how you taught me how to think. Wasn't just like, and is like actually solving problems. And when you know how to do that, like people keep talking about coronavirus and all this stuff going on. I'm like, it's all good. We'll weather the storm and let it pass. And if for whatever reason I've got an issue during it, there's always problems to be solved. And there's 100%. Especially if you can provide value. And it's like, if I know how to provide value to people, whether that's as a sales guy, like even last year, I explored sales. I was selling information for someone. Like, so it was just taking a piece of NLC and using it. And it was like working great. So it's like, there's always like, Yeah, if you can solve the problems and really think the right way, I think there's always an opportunity, and there's always money to be made. It's just who it's moving through,
Yeah,
you know. So
exactly. Yeah. At the end of the
yeah,
day, people don't get rich off of their own money. They get rich off of other people's money, right?
yeah,
OPM, other people's
yeah,
money. Well,
yeah,
the beginning of that is learning how to earn it for yourself through typically services, and then
yeah.
reinvesting it into investments, and then using other people's money from there. So it's all a circle. And man, really appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience. The last question I always ask is, would you recommend Next Level Creators, and if so, why?
Hands down, absolutely would recommend it. The investment I had with Paul is over 30 or 40x. So that's just a phenomenal. Absolutely recommend it. And the reason I even came back on here is because I want to help Paul, because I've been in the industry and I've run into a whole lot of people selling information, and Paul's information has hands down been the best since anything else I've passed. And I've had a lot of people send me, all these different courses, blah blah blah, and Paul's hands down has been the best for me. So anyone questioning it or whatever, do it. It's worth the investment, I promise.
I appreciate it, Blake. Last words?
Enjoy it too. Have fun. Live life.
That's
It's
right.
great.
Hell yeah.